Every year, the hunting industry promises you the same thing: a brand new cartridge, a revolutionary rifle, a sleek, expensive setup that's supposed to make everything you already own obsolete. Longer range, flatter trajectory, less recoil, more precision, more hype. And maybe, just maybe you believed it. Maybe you just dropped $2,000 or $3,000 on a new rifle, convinced it was finally time to retire that old .30-06 sitting in the back of your safe. But what if I told you that the cartridge your grandfather trusted more than a century ago is still humiliating most modern hunting rifles in the real world? Not on Instagram, not in marketing brochures, but where it actually matters: in the field, under pressure, when one shot decides the entire season. Today, we're going to talk about why the .30-06 Springfield refuses to die, why it keeps outperforming trendy calibers year after year, and why some of the smartest hunters in 2025 are quietly betting their tags on a cartridge that refuses to follow trends. This isn't nostalgia. This is math, logistics, and dead serious real-world performance. Before we get into it, if you care about practical hunting knowledge instead of marketing noise, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. The modern hunting world is obsessed with newness. Every few years, a miracle caliber shows up and takes over social media. First it was the 6.5 Creedmoor, then the PRCS. Then the next sleek high BC wonder round that promises to do everything better. And on paper, a lot of them look incredible. Long, slippery bullets, minimal wind drift, laser flat trajectories, but paper doesn't pull the trigger. And paper doesn't stand broadside at 280 yards in bad light with your heart rate through the roof. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of these new calibers don't fail because they're bad. They fail because real hunting isn't a shooting range. Real hunting is cold mornings, rushed shots, limited ammo availability, awkward angles, and animals that don't read ballistic charts. And that's where the .30-06 keeps winning. The .30-06 Springfield was introduced in 1906 as a military cartridge. It wasn't designed for YouTube thumbnails. It was designed to work reliably, repeatedly, and under terrible conditions. After its military service, it moved into the hunting world and never left. For over 100 years, it has been filling tags on white-tailed deer, mule deer, elk, moose, and black bear across every kind of terrain you can imagine. That kind of track record doesn't come from marketing departments. It comes from a cartridge that delivers consistent terminal performance in real animals, at real distances, in real weather. Let's talk numbers. But let's talk about them the way hunters actually use them. With common factory loads in the 150 to 180 grain range, the .30-06 typically pushes bullets between 2,700 and 2,900 feet per second. That translates to roughly 2,800 to 3,000 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. What does that mean in the field? It means the bullet flies flat enough for normal hunting distances. It carries enough mass to break bone when the angle isn't perfect. And it delivers predictable expansion with classic cup and core bullets, bonded bullets, or modern copper designs. Predictability matters, because predictable bullets kill cleanly. 0A 165 grain .30-06 at 200 yards, and you're looking at roughly 7 to 8 inches of drop at 300. At 500 yards, you'll see around 45 to 50 inches of drop with about 20 to 24 inches of wind drift in a 10 mile per hour full value wind depending on bullet shape. These aren't fantasy numbers. These are repeatable, real-world results. Now let's stack the .30-06 against the usual suspects, because this conversation always comes up. The .308 Winchester is close. With a 165 grain bullet, it typically runs around 2,650 to 2,700 feet per second. The trajectory is similar, but the .308 gives up a bit of energy past 300 yards. On deer, that's rarely an issue. On elk or moose, energy and penetration start to matter more. Then there's the 6.5 Creedmoor. With a 140 grain bullet, it runs in the same velocity range and shines in wind drift thanks to higher ballistic coefficients. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. On big animals, especially on quartering shots or heavy bone, the energy delivered on target is significantly lower. Shot placement becomes far less forgiving. And then we have the new hotness. Cartridges like the 7mm PRC. Yes, they shoot flatter. Yes, they buck the wind better. Yes, they look incredible on ballistic charts, but they also recoil more, cost more, and are dramatically harder to find. When opening day is tomorrow and the shelves are empty, that matters. This is where the .30-06 lives, right in the sweet spot. Enough speed, enough mass, enough energy, without punishing recoil or boutique logistics. In an 8-pound hunting rifle, a .30-06 firing a 165 grain bullet produces roughly 18 to 20 foot-pounds of recoil energy. A .308 sits around 16 to 17. A 6.5 Creedmoor drops to the 13 to 15 range. Meanwhile, cartridges like the 7mm Magnums creep into the low 20s with a sharper recoil impulse. Add a modern recoil pad, good stock fit, or a suppressor where legal, and the .30-06 becomes extremely manageable. Recoil matters more than people admit, because flinch ruins accuracy faster than bad ballistics ever will. Versatility is where the .30-06 really separates itself. This cartridge doesn't lock you into one narrow use case. It lets you tailor the rifle to the tag in your pocket. For deer and antelope, a 150 or 165 grain soft point leaves the muzzle around 2,750 to 2,900 feet per second and delivers clean heart-lung shots without excessive meat damage. When the angles get tougher, bonded or monolithic bullets step in. Federal Trophy, bonded tip, Nosler AccuBond, Barnes TTSX. Bullets designed to hold together, drive deep, and keep moving when bone is involved. That's how marginal angles turn into filled tags. When you move into elk, moose, or black bear country, the .30-06 scales up effortlessly. A 180 grain bullet carries a sectional density around .271. With ballistic coefficients commonly ranging from .45 to .55. That combination keeps energy on target past 300 yards and tracks straight through heavy shoulders and ribs. If you expect truly deep penetration, 200 and even 220 grain factory loads exist. These push sectional density into the .30 range and deliver serious straight-line penetration. Most .30-06 rifles use a 1 in 10 twist rate, which stabilizes these heavier bullets reliably. No special barrel required. No exotic setup. The cartridge also plays extremely well with modern hunting regulations. Copper bullets like the Barnes TTSX or Hornady CX meet lead-free requirements while still expanding reliably at common .30-06 impact speeds. Precision-leaning bullets like the Hornady ELDX or Nosler AccuBond long range offer sleeker profiles without forcing you into a Magnum platform. You can zero a 165 at 200 yards, hold center mass out to 300 on deer, then swap to a 180 bonded bullet for elk season with minimal dope changes. That kind of logistical simplicity matters more than people realize. Now let's talk about the most underrated advantage of the 30-006 availability. When supply chains get weird, trendy calibers disappear first. The 30-006 doesn't. Walk into a big box store or a small town hardware shop and you'll usually find it sitting next to 38 and 27-0. Remington Core Locked, Federal Power Shock, Winchester Super X, Hornady American Whitetail, Federal Fusion, Nosler Partition, Barnes, TTSX, Hornady Precision Hunter. The list goes on. If you lose a box on a road trip, you can replace it at the next town without reworking your entire zero. If your rifle doesn't like one load, you can swap brands within the same bullet weight and stay inside practical hunting data. That flexibility is a real advantage when seasons are short and conditions change fast. Reloaders have it even easier. Brass is everywhere. Dies are always in stock. Bullets span from 125 to 220 grains. One rifle can be tuned for mild recoil practice or heavy-hitting big game without fighting magazine length or twist rate limitations. Reliability is another quiet win. The .30-06 case has generous taper and moderate overall length, which helps cartridges feed smoothly and extract cleanly, even when conditions are dirty or cold. That's why it runs so well in bolt guns ranging from classic Winchester Model 70s and Remington 700s to modern Tikkas, Savages, and Ruger Americans. Even semi-autos like the Browning BAR have been running .30-06 reliably in deer camps for decades. Cold mornings, dusty actions, pine needles in the magazine. The cartridge geometry just works. Shootability is what ultimately decides tags. The 30-006 balances recoil, rifle weight, and downrange authority in a way that lets most hunters spot their own hits and send a fast follow-up if needed. Modern bullets expand reliably at typical impact speeds, delivering consistent terminal performance from tree stand ranges to practical western distances. This is why experienced hunters don't rush to replace it. The 30-006 doesn't chase trends, it waits them out. So here's where I land after running the numbers and putting in the miles. The 30-006 Springfield has been putting meat in freezers since 1906, and it remains the benchmark. Bullet weights from roughly 125 to 220 grains allow one rifle to handle everything from antelope to moose. A 165 grain load leaves around 2,800 feet per second. A 180 sits closer to 2,700. Muzzle energy stays right around 2,800 to 3,000 foot-pounds.